Hello traders, Sid here with another video, and in this video I'm going to share my watch list, all the stocks that I'm going to watch for the upcoming week, that is from 14th February to 18th February. Before jumping into all these stocks that I listed over here, let's talk about ES1 or S&P 500 E-mini futures. Now what happened yesterday? We had this big sell-off yesterday. Now why that happened is mainly because of the CPI data. Now when we got that CPI data on Thursday, market didn't react it immediately. Okay, market took it quite slowly, I would say. I was expecting market will react abruptly and we can see I was expecting some kind of like a strong pullback or the selling pressure on Thursday, because CPI data or consumer price index data was not that good. Inflation was really high. So but market took it pretty well, I would say, and didn't give us that immediate reaction that everyone was expecting. But what happened on Friday? We had that some kind of like a curling action back up, and it gave some kind of like a false hope that we might get some rally towards the upside or towards 4600 level, but that didn't happen, and market sold off pretty aggressively from lunch hours, from 12 p.m. onwards, and it was continued till the market closed. Now now that being said, let's see what market has to do, because when we have this kind of like a aggressive pullback, now you can see that it's kind of like a parabolic downward movement, and when you see some kind of like a movement like that, we get that rubber band effect or like some kind of like a pullback towards the upside. Well, we don't know if that happens on Monday, or it might take 1 or 2 days. Probably we will see some kind of like a rally back up towards Wednesday, but I'm expecting that it to continue that selling pressure. We will continue to have that selling pressure going into Monday and Tuesday, and we will probably retest this accumulation zone again before bouncing back again. And if that happens, then we will basically end up in this box, and if that happens, then probably we will spend entire month of February ping-ponging between this highs and low of this box, which will be like 42.50 towards, let's say, like 44.50, within that range. Now market is irrational and anything can happen, so just take it as a expected move and proceed along with that context. Now let's move on to the SPY. Now SPY had made the similar move as S&P 500 mini future, because it tracks S&P 500 mini, and I marked out few ranges over here, as you guys can see. So this range is based on the options activity. Now where I get this data from? So I'm using this quant data platform, and quant data basically tracks all the options activity, and so far it's very helpful. How I make that range is I check the volume, where the volume is at, or which strike price has more volume. In that case, we have the 440 put, and open interest is very high over there as well. Now if we sort it correctly from highest to lowest, then you see 440 put over here, and let's see where the open interest lies. Open interest lies around like 425, and all these are the put all these are put options. That means we will probably see some kind of like a downward pressure going into Monday and Tuesday. And this range is very important to consider, because if market is going to market is looking forward to hit this range, then you can assume that rest of the market will follow that downward, follow the S&P, follow the SPY, and will have some form of downward pressure. Now that downward pressure could be more or less depending on the stock and their like overall fundamentals, but it will happen. Based on the option activity, I have marked out this range 440 to 425, and all this option activity is set to February 18th, that is next Friday. So this is a weekly range, and we will probably see some kind of like a price action in between that range. So considering this range, I'm expecting next week will be a choppy week. Now I used a tool called fixed range volume profile to mark certain key levels that you need to watch out for. Now these levels are very important because market respect them very nicely, because this indicator basically gives you that level where buyers agrees on. For an example, this is the Friday's level. So what level we are at? So 441. So buyers thought that this is a fair price for SPY to trade on, and that's what happened. Now what will happen on Monday? If we fell down during the pre-market hours, market will try to regain this level. Either they will get it or they will get rejection from it. I use that tool to mark out the different level for this week, and all these yellow lines or the price levels are the key levels that SPY can move on. Okay, so now considering the downward pressure, all this price action is very important to provide what could happen in that scenario. And you guys can see here, we the lowest that we can go is 425. Now pay attention over here. If you use the similar tool, fixed range volume profile, for this price action, it clearly shows that the price level that we get from using that tool is aligning with this price range that options activity provided us. So that means it is highly likely that we will see some kind of like a ping pong price action. For an example, like this, and finally we will goes to 425 level before bouncing back up again. And that's kind of like a it's forming that pattern, like it hits this high, fall back down, retrace again, and it will come back down to 425 level. Now at that point we need to watch whether it's going to break that level or not. And I will post a link of all these charts down in the description, so if you are interested, just go and take a look at it, and maybe you can learn something from it. Now let's go alphabetically, stock by stock. Now let's talk about Apple. Apple has a similar formation as a SPY double top. We have this top over here. We couldn't breach that 176.77 level. We fall back down. And on Apple also, I'm use a similar tool to mark out the important or the key areas. Now I use a similar tool to find out where the volume is at maximum, and you see the maximum volume is around 174 level. Obviously we broke that level, and the current level is 168.56. and what option activity suggests is we will have the move between 175 to 180. Now this move is kind of like a in contrast to what SPY move indicates, or SPY option activity, or the SPY price range indicates. So I probably we will get some kind of like a similar move like SPY, or maybe we will get this range price action between this range, but that's highly unlikely. But but option activity suggested that, so let's go and double check that. We have Apple over here, and the biggest volume is around 175, and that's a call option, and open interest is very high, around like 180, which is a call option. And as you guys can see here, the call volume is slightly higher than put volume. The key areas to watch for Apple is 162 and obviously 159. I'm expecting it to move in this zone because this is where buyers are setting in, and we will see some kind of like a reversal from this zone. So that's for the Apple. Now let's go on to AMD. AMD is very interesting because AMD is basically following NVDA, and NVIDIA has earning in next week or so. So if NVIDIA reverses, we will get a sympathy reversal on AMD as well. But this is like a pretty nasty and bad selling pressure, and this selling pressure indicates that we will get some kind of like a strong reversal. Probably we can call it as a dead cat bounce, and I mark all this level using the same tool. So on the downward side, if we decided to drop even further, then we have few levels to watch for, like 110, 111 and 103. So this is like kind of like a last zone to last price level to watch for. If we broke that level, then obviously we are going to see double-digit price on AMD, and the price action from the option activity is indicating that the price will move between 110 to 130 price. So just for the confirmation, let's take a look. February 18th, where the highest volume is for 130, and all those are the call options. And again, open interest is very high, around 130 mark. Call volume is very high, so probably we will see some kind of like a definite reversal once we reach to 110, or maybe somewhere between 105, 106, that level. So just keep that in mind. Now let's move on to Amazon. I use a similar fixed range volume profile tool to mark out some price levels that we need to watch for. And for Amazon, it kind of like at a critical level, if it broke below $3,000 level, then the level that we need to watch for is 29.95, then 29.81, 29.63, and if we couldn't hold that level, then obviously we will come down to fill this gap, and that will put us back in price range between 2,900 to 2,850, within that range. So let's check what market has projected for Amazon's price action. Let's remove AMD. For Amazon for February 18th, let's see where the volume sets in. It's 3,000, and that's a put. So and 3,200 call based on the open interest, and the put volume is higher than the call volume. That means it indicates that we are going to come down. Likely we will fill this gap halfway through. That's my target. So 29.64 will be the likely target for Amazon to go before making some kind of like a reversal. So just keep that in mind. And that's it for the Amazon. Let's go to Ford. Now I'm not going to trade Ford, but I'm just keeping an eye out for it to see whether it can fill this gap. So for Ford, we have this bullish flag. We broke it down nicely with this gap, with this large gap down, and again we are forming this bear flag, so it indicates that we are going to come down towards $15 level or probably gap fill. The price range that market has decided is 20 to 17 based on option activity, and days range is, let me fix this, 14th to 18th of February. Just for the confirmation, let's go and confirm it. So highest volume is around 1650 and open interest is high around $18 level. So let me change this, 1650 to 18. So that's the price range that we are targeting for upcoming week. And based on the current price, I can see that it can come to 1650. So it will be like a middle of this gap fill. So yeah, they are targeting for this gap fill. So we will see the continuous downward pressure on Ford, and likely we will get the gap fill. So that's it for the Ford. Let's move on to Facebook. Facebook is still in downtrend, and market sentiment about the Facebook is not that bullish. So I marked out some price level that you want to watch for are certainly these levels. These are very pretty well defined levels on Facebook, and if we bounce back from there, then we will see this kind of like a ping pong action before breaking down. Obviously on 30-minute level, RSI is clearly showing that it's almost sold off, so maybe we will retest this 213 to 10 level and then bounce back from there. Now let's see the range for Facebook for this week. Highest volume is around 230, and that's a call, and open interest is around 250, and call volume is slightly higher. So maybe we will see some kind of like a drop and bounce or some kind of something similar like this. Probably retest, bounce back, a retest of this level, and then bounce towards 250. Now that's more like an exaggerated move, but we will days range 14 to 18 Feb. So that's it for the Facebook. Google's price range, I guess this is an old one, so let's take a look at the news price range. So highest volume is around 2800 and 2800. Wow. So obviously for the Google, there is like quite a balance between put and call volume. So consider some kind of like a choppy price action. It made my move pretty nicely, so I would say the range should be 2800, and days range will be 14th to 18th of February. So that's it. We fill this gap, and yeah, I mean it's oversold on RSI on 30-minute time frame, but I usually don't trade Google because premiums are very high. But if market conditions provide some good bounce back, then probably I will trade Google. I never traded Google using options, but I can see that this is the area where we can easily bounce. So let me use a different color over here like this, and let's use this fixed price range. Let's pick up this lowest point and highest point, and we have this range. So 2500 is a price to watch for. If I can see that it can easily touch this level and bounce back again towards 2600 and then 2800. So yeah, that's the price I will watch for before opening any long position on Google. Microsoft, let's see what Microsoft is giving us. So obviously Microsoft sold off along with overall market on Friday, and these are the price level that we need to watch for. So on Microsoft, I can easily see at this price like it can retest this 280 level, or the price will move something like this, retest, test this level again, bounce back, test before breaking out. And let's see what option activity is going on, where market wants to move Microsoft to. So 305 has open has a large volume, and where open interest is 320. So 305, 320 will be a range for this week. So let me mark it out. $305, $320, and that will be the range. $305, yeah, it's well within the price range. $308 and $320. $320 looks impossible, but yeah, I can definitely see that it can retest to $290 and then bounce back to $305, or maybe it will retest this $295 level after reaching to after bouncing back from the $290 level, and then move towards $305. So that's for the Microsoft. Micron will have a price action similar to NVDA, basically a sympathy play. And for the Micron, we have this double top. Okay, and Micron is a type of stock that it moves in one direction pretty aggressively. It remains within that zone for quite a while, and before dropping down even further. In this case, we are range bound from 94.95 towards 88.85 level, and we had this nice bounce back from $90 level and continuous sell off from that level. And this is kind of like a double top bearish pattern. I would say it can retest 87 or 84. Probably it can come back towards this $81 level. Now let's take a look at the fixed volume tool and where the fair price is, and it's around like $81 level. So I was pretty close in charting that out. Now let's see the price action or the options activity where the volume and open interest is. So largest volume is at $95 strike, and highest open interest is 90. So yeah, I mean, wow. So they are like clearly wants to keep MU within this range, and yeah, it makes sense. We have NVDA earning this this upcoming week, so maybe it will have some kind of like a sympathy price action similar to NVDA. So just keep that in mind. And let's move on to Netflix. Netflix has a small gap to fill between 388 to 385. Once it fills that gap, then I would say that like it will remain within this zone for quite some time. And I marked out few key point levels, key price levels to watch out for, and we are at we need to watch for this 388 385 gap fill, and below that we have 378 and 371. Now let's look at the options activity. So highest volume is around 430, which is quite impossible, and open interest is around 370, so quite a range over there. And you can see that volume, so option activities does not NFLX does not have that good volume both on the put on the call side. So I would say like it can ping pong between this range between 390 to 370 before breaking out in either direction. Probably it will be bearish, but market can be rational, so it can go in either direction. Now let's go to the big boy, NVDA, semiconductor big boy. And I marked out this range 250, 280 and 300, and 300 range is possible. Well, that's kind of like exaggerated, but considering we have this earning, we can see 300. NVIDIA goes to 300. It's not impossible for NVIDIA to make that move, but the key price levels to watch for is 240, 250, and then beyond that, then we have this 260 level. On the downside, if NVIDIA decided to move a little bit towards 230, I mean that price is quite possible. Earnings are on 16th, so it's entirely possible that we will come down to 230 levels and then bounce back from there, or even we can retest this 226 level. So all these levels I marked out using the fixed range volume profile tool, and I just want to see like what will be the median price for this move. So that will be 225, and if I use a similar tool to mark the downward move, then it will be 218. So 218 and 225, those are the like key levels. I would say it is entirely possible to make NVIDIA goes to 225 before making a big move. Keep NVIDIA on your watch list and watch its price action pretty closely, considering they have the earning this week. And let's see the options activity. Highest volume is on 280 strike, and highest open interest is around like 300. 280 and 300 quite possible, but it happens only during the earning period. But 250 range, 250 is quite possible, so just keep that in mind. PG or Procter and Gamble, I just have this because it has this multiple, it couldn't break this level, and it is consolidating nicely in this range, and we are at the key support level. If we couldn't bounce it from here, then basically we are going to come down to 152 level. So that's a short. I'm not that interested in playing with Procter and Gamble. Never played with bio stocks before, but the option activity clearly indicates that we are heading towards 155, and the put volume is towards 155. We are currently at 156, so that's quite tight price range to move, but definitely we will see this 152 level. And if we use this fixed range, and if I mark this move, then we have this 151 level. Let's go a little bit towards the upside, and if I measure this move, then the measure volume is around 157 level. So yeah, I mean, it will ping pong within that range, or maybe it come down to 151 level. So just keep that in mind if you are trading with Procter & Gamble. I never traded biopharma stocks with options, but yeah, I will keep an eye on it. If it breaks below 155, then I will open a put position. Otherwise, I won't touch this stock. Qualcomm, another semiconductor name, and I marked out all the price levels using fixed range volume profile indicator, and we had this big sell-off similar to other stocks. So we need to keep an eye on the range between 150 to 170. We have the current price is 160, and 150 quite take us to this level, and beyond that we have this huge gap to fill. So I don't expect it to move this far, but 160 and 155 is quite possible. So just keep that in mind for the Qualcomm. Let's check its price action. QCOM, where the highest volume is at 150 put, and open interest is 170. So 150 to 170 is the range for this week. Oh boy, this can be a quite good play, because what I'm expecting is like it will get some kind of like a sympathy momentum based on NVDA. It will make move towards 170, and then it will drop down. So this could be very, very nice play. Seriously, I mean, now I put Qualcomm in context with NVIDIA. So yeah, I mean, this can be a really good short trade. So I will watch this, and once it reach to 170 level, I can open up a position quite comfortably. We look at SPY, and last two stocks are Tesla and Walmart. Tesla is at an interesting position here to be I mean, quite frankly, because we have this channel, downward channel, and we have Tesla seems like quite comfortable within this range, and if the bearish pressure continues throughout the market, then the next levels that we need to watch for is 863 and 830 level. Beyond that, let's mark this move. So we are at the previous key price level, like 865, and if we couldn't hold this, then 830 is possible. And beyond that, let's see like where exactly it can, if its price can be, if it has to drop even further. So that will put us right around 782. I don't think so Tesla will drop that far, but considering the market condition, it's entirely possible. And the current price is at 859, so 782 is not that far off. So just keep that in mind and play safely, because Tesla is very volatile, and sometimes Tesla moves against the market, but just play it safe. We are oversold here on 30-minute time frame on RSI, so maybe we will reverse at this point, or maybe we will just test this 833 level, or even beyond that 783 level before moving higher towards 830 and 860 level. Now let's take a look at options activity for Tesla. So highest volume is around 900 strike and open interest is 1000. So those are the key level that I marked over here. I obviously rounded up to nearest whole dollar level, but you can get a fair bit of idea of Tesla's price, where it can move if market decided to go in either direction. If Tesla decided to follow the market, then these are the level you need to watch for. So that's it for the Tesla. For the Walmart has their earnings on 16th, so this could be a good play to watch, good stock to watch. And the price is somewhere around 137, could be a fair price for Walmart based on the fixed range volume profile indicator. And let's go back to, I just want to see, like, if we decided to drop on Walmart right after the earning, where it can be. So that price will be 132, where we are currently at. I'm not entirely convinced with that, so let's go even further. And if we decided to go even beyond that, then this price will give us fair bit of idea, like where exactly, if it decided to drop, then 126 will be a fair is the price where Walmart can drop if they gave us bad earning. So 132 bounce back up before earning, and then 126. I mean, Walmart is a decent stock, but considering the supply chain issue, it might affect their earnings. So volume is around, highest volume is for 145 strike, and highest open interest is 140. So they are targeting towards let me delete this, 140 to 145, which is a tight range, but I'm quite skeptical about that range, considering the supply chain issue it might affect. But since their earnings will count Christmas period as well, so it can be good, but it can go in either way at the same time. So let's wait and watch. So that's it for this week's watch list, guys. The price range that I marked on this chart, I used this fixed range volume profile tool for that. I'm repeating that again. You need to use that tool to find out the fair price where buyers and sellers can agree on, because that's the very important level, that's a key level, and market respect that level almost every day. Thank you for watching, and see you again next week with few more interesting stocks to play.